did you hear that? Welcome once again to the Withlacoochee River Report. The report where you could get highly offended by my compelling rhetoric. Yes, sound has come to the Withlacoochee River Railway. Okay, I'll grant you. Not real expensive sound, but a little something I picked up out at one of Dana's train sales, dirt cheap. Hey, it's a little out of date, but what the heck? It works, don't it? And it does get annoying on top of things. Well, today, this last payday, which was just a few days ago, I'm already broke. We had to go get tires on the car this morning. That got a little expensive. I walked out the door last night to put something in the car so that I wouldn't forget it when I went to go pick up the wife from work. And I'll be darned, I'm sitting there looking right at a flat tire on the back of the car. So I looked a little closer, tried to air it up, and found that the sidewall had a nice little hole in it. It wasn't airing up. Well, that said pretty much that. But a few days ago, I managed to pick up a new engine. It's a Proto 2000 GP7. It's the one on the point there. Kind of fits right in with my zebra stripe unit. Here we go again. Yeah, I've been running this thing for several hours now, and it didn't skip a beat except maybe once in that time. What? I had a light go out now. Oh, great. Wonderful. Everything's turning to crap on me. Anyway, I got that engine at such a great discount, I could not pass it up. So, you know, always be on the lookout for stuff like that. That's a Walther's Proto 2000 too. So that's one of the later versions where you shouldn't have any problem with the drive axle gears and things of that nature. Now I hear one. Oh, great. Got a car off the track. Wonderful. Anyway, you can see it runs like a Swiss watch. Yeah, I know, it doesn't really fit my 1950s, 60s scheme too much because it should be all blue with just the ends painted yellow, but yeah, because that's more of a 1970s paint scheme, but hey, what the heck. It was worth the price, believe me. Yeah, I'm kind of happy with that one. I'm going to have to fix this damn wiring situation here. We'll get it figured out eventually. Yeah, I haven't had until just a few minutes ago. Like I said, I ran this thing for just running it for a couple hours to break that engine in, and hadn't had a lick of trouble out of any of the rolling stock until that one car derailed just a few minutes ago. Proof that when you're trying to show things off, you see what happens. Well, it's just about time once again for my vlog. So let me pull the train into the station here. I'm back again once again for my vlog, or my vlog, as we so eloquently put it. You know, in my view, sound can enhance a model railroad, especially if the sounds are good, realistic sounds, and can be thrown out realistically, much like what you get with the DCC system. I don't have DCC, and the way things are going, I have no plans on getting it anytime soon. You know, right now, even though the price of decoders and the base stations and the boosters have come down significantly from the time that it really first hit the market back in the 1990s, I can remember it was quite expensive back then. Especially for what kind of money we made back then. We're not making much more now. In fact, in many cases, we're actually making less. And if you account for inflation, we're even making less. And yet, it's become the wave of the future. But I think DC will stick around for a good long time. There's so many layouts out there that run on nothing but DC. People would have to sit there and pay tens of thousands of dollars just to replace their locomotives, and in some cases maybe even whole railroads just to install DCC. So you know, they're not about to do that. These older DC units are going to be on the market, you know, on the secondary markets and whatnot for a number of years to come. There's going to be DC layouts out there for a number of years to come, so I don't see any reason. I'm not planning on switching my railroad over to DCC, especially where my railroad is located right now, out here pretty much in the elements. When you think about it, this building is not temperature controlled. It's not set up for temperature control. So, and you know, in an environment where you're going to be running a lot of sensitive electronics, you really don't want to leave those out in amongst these kinds of elements. Our humidity climbs real high at certain times of the year, like May through September. And then, of course, the heat is stifling out here. I generally take most of my trains in to the house. Like I said, my heart really hadn't been in the railroad that much since the flood a couple of years ago. I guess it's been about a year and a half now. And I'm just now starting to get back into it. And, of course, right at the wrong time of year, because now we're going into the hot time of the year. But you know, that's just the way it is. I was at a train sale today and I picked up a few items, mostly some structures. I picked up one passenger car. I don't know who made it, and I mean, beautifully done, beautiful car. It's got an interior and everything. Picked it up for $8. I figured that's not too bad for one of these old heavyweight, you know, coaches. It had the Santa Fe label on it, which is, of course, always a plus, especially for me. There was a lot of stuff selling out there, and you know, again, most of it, the older DC stuff. Like, you see, when you go to these sales, especially these smaller sales, yes, Brooksville, Florida has a couple of these every year. Spring Hill has Dana's Railroad Supply, which Spring Hill and Brooksville are right together, but still, you know, we have enough people in the area that it supports this sort of activity. We're having another one of these things in September through Regal Shows, and I hope to be able to attend that one, maybe sell some stuff off. In the meantime, I've got plans. I'm on vacation this week, so I've got plans to do something with my town here, and maybe add some scenic elements to the railroad, like trees and maybe some backdrop elements. I'd like to add mountains to it. Yeah, I know I'm in Florida, but I want some Colorado mountains in the background. And I'll show you the program later on that I'm using to present that. I want to get these, especially my city structures, my downtown structures, set up to where that whole thing will be removable, and I can remove those structures at will for cleaning or whatever. So I'll be setting that up hopefully this week. That's, you know, over and above any of the necessary work that has to be done around the house, and believe me, there's plenty of it still to be done. That's life, right? Anyway, I just wanted to kind of touch base. You know, make another video, whatnot. As you've heard, I have sound now. Yeah, like I'm going to play with that thing all the time. I cannot believe that MRC marketed such a thing. Yet, back in the day when they brought that out, that was probably somewhat the cat's meow. It wasn't the PFM system, but the PFM system would run you hundreds of dollars. And the decoder, which it wasn't really a decoder, but the sound receiver and the speaker and the work that had to be done, and it was only steam. You did not have sound for diesels at all back in those days. It wasn't until outfits like Keller Engineering and a couple of other outfits started bringing stuff out that you started getting decent sound. And then of course along came DCC, which, you know, made all of the difference in the world to a lot of people. And it has improved over the years. I will give it that. But I can also see where it would become quite annoying after a while. It's something you want to think about. It's fun to play with for a little bit, but you know what? I still like the sound of the train running on its own. Let's leave the rail sounds to the real railroads. And when you go and you rail fan a real railroad, that's where you need to hear it. It's loud, it's big, and it's wonderful. Whereas where on your model railroad, why would you want that kind of noise? And you get several people operating a layout at once with all that, everybody running sound on their locomotives, and oh, yeah, I can understand. Danny says that does get on your nerves, badly on your nerves. Anyway, until next time, hopefully within another few days, happy railroading.